Holdovers is Alexander Payne's brand new movie starring the likes of Paul Giamatti, Dominic Sessa, and Joy Randolph, and this is a film that had a lot of great festival buzz, but it was one that I didn't know if I was going to be the biggest fan of, because when it comes to Alexander Payne, I know I might get my cinephile card revoked after saying this, but the only film I've seen of his is Downsizing, and that was very boring and not for me. And from what I've talked to friends, it's very much seemed like that is the worst film in his filmography, and I definitely need to go check out Sideways and some others. But The Holdovers might be the absolute award winner for the most delightful and wholesome movie of 2023. It's a movie that absolutely charmed me in every sort of way, even though two of the main characters in this film are some of the biggest assholes that you will see in film this year. But this film actually, got me pretty emotional. I didn't cry, but I definitely got emotional because of the way that the story was told. The way that these characters are developed, and specifically because The Holdovers, while it is kind of like the definition of wholesome, it's the definition of how human beings, in a way, should get to know other people. The easiest way to explain this movie is you take three characters, three unlikely people who should not be spending the holidays with one another, but because of some forced reasons, they are. You have a cranky old history teacher who just hates the world. You have a grieving mother who is the cafeteria headmaster, and you have a kid who is abandoned by his family and very much just isn't going home to see them this holiday season. And when you take all three of those and you bring them together, you truly get a very special movie, and one that I loved all the way. So I'm very excited to hear your guys' thoughts. If you are new here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as leave your thoughts down below. Are you excited for The Holdovers? Have you heard about it? Is this your first time hearing about it? I'm very excited to talk about this today. Let's just start off flat out. Paul Giamatti is just as great that you've heard from everyone else who saw this film at award season. He's phenomenal. And I think it's no surprise Paul Giamatti is one of the best actors, even if he did do The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as the Rhino. I'm not joking. I know this guy is known for so many other roles, but it's that role and Big Fat Liar. I just think of Paul Giamatti every single time. I think actually after seeing this movie, I might actually think of this role the most now, because this film just has that instant holiday classic movie, that film that you're just gonna want to play around the fall season to get into the festive vibes. And Paul Giamatti's performance in a lot of ways is all of that. He is the Scrooge of this story, and to see how his character progresses, to understand his character more. A lot of those nuances come through his performance, and obviously a phenomenal script as well, but Paul Giamatti just rocks it. Joy Randolph is also great. I love seeing her in everything she's in. She always just brings such a great energy to every film and TV show, but there's a nuance in this movie and an emotional core that I just found to be standout, and maybe steals some of the best scenes in this entire movie. But the actor that actually shocked me the most, because I'd never heard about this person until this movie, is Dominic Sessa, who I think is sensational, and I think this type of performance is a performance that is a star in the making type thing. And it's been a while since I've seen a performance like this where I'm like, who the hell is that? That is incredible. At such a young age for an actor to have that strong of a body of work and a body of emotions. I mean, Dominic's character just absolutely ripped my heart out, and his performance absolutely elevates that, specifically as you start to dive into the deeper nuances of his character, why he's being an asshole, why he's being the way he is. And I think for me, that's actually the thing I love about this movie, is that on a surface level approach, when you start to understand each character, it's very surface level. But there's obviously twists and turns to each and every one of those. And the way that Alexander Payne is able to direct, as well as take the script, that David Hemmingson wrote and take those ideas of, okay, this is how we're going to reveal this person's storyline. This is how we're going to reveal this person's. This is how we're going to touch on this person's storyline. And how they always feel that they wrapped up each person's and made every single character arc make sense and feel fluid and real. And I think that's the thing that was the most shocking to me, is the way that they take such a tried and true story that you've seen thousands of times before and taking that same format but building off it in such a successful way that just makes it beautiful and poetic. And on, again, just a surface level approach, this is just a wholesome movie that your grandma, your dad, your mom, anyone you go to take to see this movie is gonna enjoy. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna find yourself emotional. I found myself cracking up quite a bit. But if you want to dive in a little bit deeper to it, there's so many nuances and so many different things to study that I actually think this is the type of movie that like they should show in like sociology classes and classes where talking about what it is to be human, to be and living in a world like this, where we and what is our humanity. Because yes, you have that basic thing of don't judge a book by its cover, because that is the truest thing. You never know what anyone's dealing with. And The Holdovers touches on that in such a beautiful way, in a poetic way as well, that easily, you know, all these characters are judging each other for who they are and what they've done and what they've heard them do. But as they start to get to know each other, they're like, oh, we're very much the same person. You're old, I'm young. We're very much the same person at one point in time in our lives. And that's the thing that I love so much about this, is while it takes a very basic formula, it develops everything in such a fluid and beautiful way that doesn't feel cheesy, doesn't feel one note, doesn't feel surface level. It feels poetic. And it really just makes me feel like this is how people should treat each other. And I just loved it. I mean, this movie truly has everything in store for it. Great performances, great direction, great writing, great everything. I just sat there going, God, I love this movie. And the more I think about it, the more I love it. The Holdovers is one of the best movies of 2023, and you should absolutely make sure to make time for it, specifically this holiday season. It is a great movie to get into the season. I'm not saying it's a full-on Christmas movie. It's a great holiday season movie, and I think it's one that many people will absolutely be charmed about. But yeah, The Holdovers could win some Academy Awards later this year, but it's honestly going to win the award for me for the most wholesome and delightful movie of the year. It's honestly the definition of that, and it's a tried and true drama that depicts humanity in such a phenomenal way. Giamatti is great, Randolph is the standout, but Dominic Sessa is sensational and flat out just won my heart over. This is a must-see movie. Go take anyone. This is such an easy movie to recommend that I cannot wholeheartedly recommend it more enough. So with all that said, I'm going to give The Holdovers an A. Thank you so much again, guys, for watching this. Make sure to leave your thoughts down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, until next time, stay classy.